A slight breeze carries us over a sea of clear blue water, nearly still, empty but beautiful in its eeriness. It dances and swoops, taking us to a pier where many hands pull apart a single ship, disassembling it. A town without walls, pets, borders, trees, or grass. A chaotic mess of stone and dirt, of worked dwarven bastions, clay-tiled roofs, thatched cottages, and seemingly fitted shingen lumber. The people are as ununified as their buildings, carrying slates and bags, chests and goods, clothing of intricate design and simple materials. Throughout the town's construction, clearly unplanned in a civic nature, 5 pillars, a dozen stories tall, loom over the town to cast shadows. Gleaming obsidian walls recessing slightly in to meet near the top with a pyramidical cap. The only decoration upon each is a rune upon each face from the draconic numeral system. And the wind chases us towards the pillar marked with a 4. There we find a gold dragonborn wearing loose robes, short and slightly bent, using a staff of office to approach. From the staff hangs a banner with the same rune, and it catches slightly in the breeze. The dragonborn stops before you with a nod. And so you are to be off soon. We have not met in person before, but I am sure that you know of me. Just for formal introductions, I am Rock the Timeless, Arch-Sorcerer, and Keeper of Fallowmoon. I am at your service, Pillars. It is my shame that the Council is activating your team so soon, but their need for diamonds is a run against the clock. If you are to encounter any, or even silver steel, mithril, and the dwarven tongue, you are to return immediately with it, as lives depend upon these materials, though it is unlikely that you will acquire such rare treasures so early in your journey. There is much for you to learn, more ever than these eyes will ever see, and so I congratulate you on your mixed fortunes in finding you among the blessed. If you require advice or counsel or seek knowledge, come seek me in the tower. You have not been briefed on the all thing, and so you must be inalleled into its use. For now, go and seek your destiny, for whatever you believe about being blessed, your fate is now tied to this pillar. As he speaks, Rock drops to one knee to bow before you in respect, head slightly lowered, his left hand pressing upon the pillar. Now he rises heavily using his staff and stands to watch you, waiting to be dismissed.
Hi to Rock. My name is Cayso. Cayso Hamhand.
Yes, I know who you are.
Well,
you are dismissed.
just want to make sure we're on first name basis here.
I am honored, Cayso. And he turns to shuffle away. As he leaves, a gnomish man, short, his skin has been reddened with age. He's a little overweight, but only in the middle area, and then only backed by strong abdomen muscles. It's clear that he has some sort of artisanal or forging experience, given the massive hams that are his arms. He approaches with a leather smock covered in stains, hands equally covered in stains, and fidgets with a dwarven toy at his belt as he says, I am Patrice O'Toole. You may call me Patches. I volunteered to be your sutler. That's a provisioner. He turns to Omo and says, Miss Komomo, many years ago, before your birth, your mother did me a very kind turn, and so I have come to return the favor. If you would have me, I would serve as the sutler for your expedition and ensure that you have whatever you need in order to adventure outwardly. And he hands you a slate on which is chalked the following. Oh, I forgot to do the battle map. It's always a problem. Oh, yeah, that's that's.
Is it the patches provisions?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Did that pop up for you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
On oh, yep, there it is.
She's gonna like look over the slate. Cool. It'd be my pleasure if you could help us out.
He nods. In addition, he provides you with this, which are depictions of tools he has yet to make, but is getting prepared to offer.
When you say offer, is he like for free?
So, it's not for free. You can clearly see that there are prices listed.
Yeah, but we don't have any money yet, right?
You have whatever money you started with.
Oh.
So your job as pillar teams is to head out and bring back food and materials for the town. And in so doing, you will be rewarded with money or equivalent goods. Your provisioner here, your sutler, is supposed to negotiate on your behalf. You don't have time to go talk to 5 blacksmiths, a silversmith, a guy who makes inks. He does that on your behalf. You tell him what you need and he gets you a good price.
So say I'm a terrible player.
Yeah. The
How
typical
much
starting
money would
gold's
I
about
start with?
15
50?
gold. 15 for most
Sorry.
backgrounds.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay.
I wouldn't say you're a terrible player, Sputnik.
What was your background?
My background?
Mm-hmm.
I, being the player I am, did not fill that out.
I believe you left it in the Discord, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that was just like shit that I made up.
No, I mean, I think you actually put what you were.
You did.
Yeah, maybe it's in.
There's the dinner and dungeon background also. Like, for instance, my character's a farmer background.
I messed that up. It's fine. I put 15 gold.
Let's
That's
assume
fine.
you have 15 gold.
Yeah.
Was presenter the background?
Presenter
is your cooking
the
class.
Cooking class,
Guys,
yeah.
we were ready for this broadcast. We were 100%
We were
ready.
totally ready. I'm totally
Play
ready.
D&D from the start.
I've been playing D&D for like 30 years, and that is no joke. Anyway.
Look, there's only been one technical issue so far, so that's
For
good.
sure.
That is a good start.
I'm impressed. So are we buying provisions?
No, he is preparing you for your first dungeon run. So when you come back, he is going to do things.
Gotcha.
We haven't discussed it in too much detail, but all 3 of you have had a dream which has awakened you to the fact that you are pillar blessed, and that this particular pillar here will become your grounds. You enter the pillar, it transports you to places, and the town wants you to gather resources to bring back to keep the town and the people alive. Now, as has been mentioned, there are no trees in town. There's no grass, there's no pets, there's no life here, and the water is not safe to drink. Everything that they need to live comes from these pillars.
One thing, sir, I'd like you to keep an eye out for if anyone's returning with it is a particular kind of leaf that I often find when my experience of going into the pillars here. It's a kind of a tri-shaped leaf, and sort of I would proceed to maybe draw it in the dirt or something.
Okay.
And I use these to wrap up the meats. And if you have any salt, those are 2 things that I like to keep handy on the road. So.
He is shocked to hear that he has a task already. He was not expecting such a boon. And he says, of course, these tri-tip leaves, I will do what I can to acquire them for you immediately.
Thank you.
Okay, so he stops fiddling with the dwarven toy at his belt and begins moving off away from the pillar. The entrance looms darkly in front of you, a simple stone arch with a draconic rune above it.
What's the rune say?
Do you speak Draconic?
I actually might. Nope, damn it. I took Sylvan instead.
You've been told it says 4.
4, okay.
Like a number or
Yes.
like for someone?
Nope, 4. The number 4.
Well, man. It won't wait for us. We better get going.
Yeah.
People are hungry.
Might as well walk on through, right? To the other side.
Who goes through first?
I'll do it.
Okay, you're never heard from again.
Thanks
As you
for
pass
playing.
through, you feel a force that pushes back against you as you step through the doorway. And when you complete your journey through, you are in a simple carved stone chamber. A similar archway that you just went through is behind you, but instead of looking out upon the town and Ono and Cayso, all it is pure darkness. There is a similar archway ahead of you. In this room, there are 3 other rooms with hammocks in them, shelves, and cabinets. In the center of the room is a table and a large communal cooking area that has no equipment in it. It is simply like a recessed fire pit and a counter made all of stone.
Is this like a do I feel safe in this area?
Yes, you feel completely and totally safe, actually. It kind of worries you because you're aware that there is an external influence on your mind making you feel safe here.
Is there a way for me to signal back to Ono and Cayso that it is okay to traverse through the pillar?
You do not see them through the archway.
So I can't like write down on a note and like throw it back through the archway, maybe?
Would you like to try that?
Yeah.
Do you have pen and paper on your...
Good question.
The eternal question
think I
GMs
do.
ask. What's in your inventory sheet?
While he's looking for
Yeah.
a piece of paper in his bag, can I just walk through the arch?
Yes. So when you walk through the arch, you feel the same things. There's a force resisting you for a moment until you make it through. You see the same room, and you also see your new friend looking through a bag, going paper, paper.
What you looking for?
I'm looking for paper to send a message. Oh, well, I see you have arrived, so I don't maybe need to send a message anymore.
Send a message about what?
I was worried that I just stepped through here because I'm a big boy and no one had followed. So I just wanted to say that it is safe to traverse through this pillar into, I guess, our kitchen.
At this point, Cayso is going to pop out through the archway unless
All
he
you
goes
hear,
someplace else.
Cayso, you hear the word chin?
So, I have a question. Is this what one might normally see when going through the pillar?
So you have been a pillar, another pillar team's like auxiliary
Scout.
member. Yeah.
Right.
So they pass their blessing on to you. Yes. So theirs had 4 rooms instead of 3, but they also had 4 members, and it also had rivets. Not rivets, but it had runners to allow a cart to be pulled from one archway to the next, which yours does not have. Their kitchen was also slightly bigger. Every part of theirs was bigger, and it was a lot better because they had decorated it. You know, they had replaced the hammocks with real beds. They had clothing. They basically lived through it. None of this is surprising to you. You've done this part before. You go through the next doorway. It takes you to a world. There'll be another doorway that will lead you to the next world, and the next world, and the next world.
All right. So I think you see Cayso start to make himself at home in one of the bunks. He's gonna like hop on and maybe like place a blanket or other accoutrements sort of around it, taking ownership of that small space, and like maybe he's got a spare set of clothes that he tucks into like a drawer, that kind of thing.
Now, do you get one of the L's, or do you get the one that has? So there, it's arrayed in like a quad around you, but where there would be a fourth room, instead it's just a wall, right? So imagine the center room is here, and then there are 4 rooms at each corner. One of the rooms, not a room. So do you get the one with people on either side of you, or do you get one of the edge ones?
I'll take one of the edge ones.
Ah, there it is. Conorhughes being edgy, not surprised.
He'll never be a 90s JRPG protagonist.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure some of them are edgy.
That's a Discord joke.
Yeah. Do we all know each other at this point?
No.
Okay.
You have met several times over the last 3 days since you've had the pillar dream, and received your pillar blessings. But it's a town of 10,000 people. You may have heard of each other before, but you haven't strictly known each other until now.
Sure. And this pillar area that we are existing in right now, is it separate from the town, or
the pillars were not originally part of the town? A wizard raised them up.
Okay.
And destroyed what was there before it was raised in the process.
Now is this common knowledge to us?
Yes.
Okay.
It is 300-year-old knowledge, but it is retold often, usually at least once a festival.
All right. Thanks for telling me that I don't pay attention.
It's okay. I'm here to world build. I'm trying not to flood people with world building because, as you know, I've been working on this campaign for 3 years.
Yeah, I really like what's going on here.
I want to keep the Brandon Sanderson level of drip and not just like the
Lordy.
Lord of the Rings.
yeah. I don't want that Cimmerillion.
right.
Oh.
And then the rock at the corner. The cornerstone.
One of the roughest memories of my fantasy life was trying to read the Silmarillion at like 9 years old. Don't do that.
So, I feel like now that we're table talk, I should say, welcome, friends, to Dinner in a Dungeon, Episode 1. I am Arthur, APGamingREAL. I'm your game master and what one might call campaign coordinator, which is a little term I'm float testing here. Sputnik, you seem like you had a reaction to that one.
TM. Did you trademark that? TM.
Campaign coordinator, you like that?
TM.
I'm working on it. I'm working with it.
I like it.
As I mentioned, I've been working on this campaign for 3 years. We'll be playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. All of our characters are first level, and we're using milestone XP, which is something I've literally never done before in a Dungeons & Dragons campaign. So when they reach an appropriate story arc, they will level up. We are also using Dragon Stew, which is D&D 5th edition supplement. It's a cooking supplement by Antonio D'Amico, and it's awesome. And we're using many of the rules out of it, including the cooking crafting, and cooking trials. A huge part of this game will be bringing food back and then preparing it either for festivals or for trials. The bosses on each level will need to be defeated in physical combat, and then you will need to impress them with your ability to cook for them. You'll also need to discover what is going on with these pillars, because it's pretty weird that you live in a town that's dying. If you want to know more about this campaign, there was an episode 0. It will be included in the description section of the video on YouTube. And of course, you can just search for it on YouTube anytime for Dinner in a Dungeon GM Prep. Allow me to allow my fellow cast members to introduce themselves and their character. Sputnik, tell us about yourself briefly, something that you've cooked over the last week, and what Wolfgang Truck looks like as we see him unpacking his room.
Sure. So just myself briefly, I've been streaming D&D since before it was cool on Justin TV. Notice that I am still not famous.
That's okay. Neither am I.
That's fine. Never made money doing it.
We're not. No one here is as good as Conorhughes.
That's very true. I can only hope to one day be as famous and good as Conorhughes. but I've been playing D&D since the 80s because I'm old as dirt. I actually turned 40 in a month and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, I will not show you the top of my head ever.
I feel like I'm going to find some way to trick you into doing that.
Don't make me look down.
What's that behind you?
Yeah. So yeah, no, I've been playing D&D a lot since the 80s. My character's name is Wolfgang Truck, which is a pun. If you don't know about cooking, there's a dude named Wolfgang Puck. So, not very creative on my part, but whatever. Anyway,
have you seen the comic about the guy who starts with a clown character in D&D and just does nothing but puns? And by the 50th episode, he's literally like, "I'll have to do it. I'm the one holding the gate to save the world. I know, Pacifica. I know you've always loved me." Yeah, like you could start with a parody character. Don't worry. I'll make it dramatic for you, buddy.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, no. So Wolfgang is a what is he? Oh, he is a half orc barbarian, and using the cooking thing
From Dragon Stew. Yeah, your
Dragon
cooking
Stew,
class
thank you.
is
His cooking class is presenter, which means that ironically the biggest, clumsiest type character I think that we have in the party is going to be the gentlest and most dexterous presenter of food when we do things like cooking competitions. Like, so I'll have to like describe what we've cooked and put the finishing touches on the food that we've prepared. So he's just basically, imagine a big ass, 6 foot plus tall half orc with like big hands and all the stuff that goes along with being barbarian. And that is Wolfgang Truck. One day he will open his own, do they call them restaurants or eateries?
They actually do call them restaurants, and they emphasize the word rest in them because the god of rest is in fact the primary deity of this campaign.
Oh, right. And there's a god too. What was my god? I can't remember.
You worship the green faith, which is the sort of druidic belief that nature is alive and has its own combined consciousness and will.
And it's kind of like the Italian food, right?
Yeah, well,
that was the one I was...
That was your pillar of cuisine, right? You like Western Kingdom food, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So
not tied to a god specifically, but
right. So my real world skills, and I used to be a chef many years ago. My real world skills are in Italian cuisine. So, and no, it was not Olive Garden.
It was Ruby Tuesdays.
It was Applebee's.
I'll skip.
For you Midwesterners,
we want that Applebee's.
For you Midwesterners,
so I'll skip.
It was Friendly's.
Speaking of Midwesterners, Cotton, why don't you tell us briefly about yourself, something you've cooked in the last week, and what your character's like?
Howdy.
Howdy.
I'm Cotton. I doodle and stuff. I haven't cooked squat in the last week. I've been tired.
Understandable.
Sorry. I made myself hot tea, if that counts.
That does count. What kind of tea?
It's herbal tea, so it's got like rose hips and pomegranate and stuff like that in it.
Perfect.
My character is Ono Komomo. Her given name is Komomo. I don't know if I made that clear. Her family name is Ono.
Sure. Okay.
She lives at a Hot Springs Inn. Well, she did. And she is a druid and a baker.
Now, there's something special about your character because your baker abilities in Dragon Stew allow you to do something a little weird.
Yeah, I gotta make a familiar.
Tell me about this familiar. Tell the audience about this familiar.
His name is Oolong, and he is a tea dragon.
Perfect.
So good.
Did you ever download that Tea Dragon supplement?
I have tried, and then,
I'll work
it's
on
having
it.
power issues.
I'll get you. Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
Ours was completely avoidable, though.
Speaking of power issues, let's talk about. I didn't have a transition. I'm sorry, Connor. Get used to my pointless prompts.
That's fine.
Conorhughes, tell us briefly about yourself, something you've cooked in the last week, and your character. What we need to know about them.
I'm going to join Cotton and say I haven't really cooked much. I just cooked. My usual. You know what I'm going to say now. It's eggs. Yeah. I always cook eggs.
That's fine.
That's basically about all I cook. My name is Conorhughes. I make comics. We have a Kickstarter going on right now for Galarian, and it's going really well. If you want to check it out, it's elves and so forth. Fantasy story where you. Sorry, distracted by the chat here. It is about a woman in the 1970s in New York City who has dreams of a mysterious fantasy life that she doesn't really know how to deal with, and I'll let you see from there. My character's name is Cayso Hamhand, and he is a revised ranger, and he takes after the mole food pillar, cooking pillar. So that's if I understand correctly, that's the dwarven.
Yep, dwarven vegetarian, traditional, old school.
It is a vegetarian. On the contrarily, he is a hunter, and he tracks, and he's sort of of the green faith again. I think we're all three of us, as it turns out, are of that green faith.
It'd be tough for a druid not to be the green faith, yeah.
And so when he tracks an animal, or and part of what he does is he sort of prepares the meat. He considers that sort of a ritual of sorts.
So it should be noted that the dragonborn mercenaries that the dwarves brought with them are almost exclusively carnivorous. They almost only eat meat, so that there is a small portion of mole cooking devoted to them.
Okay, all right, that works. And yeah, other than that, Cayso is a simple fella. He just wants to one day possibly get out of this town and open up a ranch and be able to have communal cooking, like cookouts and stuff.
So your dream is inches away.
Is it? I mean, I thought we were bound to this town, that we have to get it. Yeah, so
all you have to do is solve the mystery of the pillar and free Fallow Moon from its curse.
Exactly. So, Cayso has been accompanying other teams going into the pillars before. He's part of basically the pit crew of these places that they bring along all the supplies and so forth. And so he's had some time in these various pillars, but obviously they're all unique. I gather. And
so you get blessed by one other pillar team. So I'll let you pick whether you were part of team 1, 2, or 3.
I like 3.
Okay. All right. I'll tell you more about them later.
Okay.
It's a good pick.
Yeah, 3 is a nice round number. That's why I picked it.
A good even number.
Okay. Really, Sputnik? All right. We've introduced ourselves. I should say that this is streamed on Twitch at 8 Eastern, and we'll go for about 3 hours with a break midway through. And it'll be up the next day on YouTube around noon Eastern. So if you want to follow us, that's how you do it. All of the information about how to find me and the rest of us is in the description section on YouTube. So you can check it there. And catch up with us on Discord, where we have a channel specifically to talk about this show. Meanwhile, you all have finished setting up your living areas in this place. Now, you still have homes you can go back to, but many of the pillar teams prefer to live apart from the rest of the town for reasons that aren't strictly clear. With the exception of Teen 5.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
Yes, you're right. They wouldn't believe it. They literally have never seen grass before.
Exactly.
Or animals. Besides like horses. Who wants to go through the next door first?
I mean, I feel like I just, charge forward.
Okay, you charge through the stone arch. All right, as the rest of you watch, Wolfgang just runs through the archway.
He seems excited.
I'm a go-getter.
Happy. I will walk after him.
And I will
Slowly, just to be sure.
Wolfgang, this is shocking to you. There's always been a part of you that understood that how things worked in Follow Moon was not how the world was supposed to work. It wasn't supposed to rain once every 5 days. It's not supposed to always have an easterly 2-mile-an-hour breeze from sun up to sundown. There was supposed to be a moon. But now, as you emerge into a forest at night, there are birds, there are trees, rivers, rocks. You can sense life around you, and some small part of you that communicates with the green faith can feel it. That this is what the natural world is supposed to be like. And this is what you emerge out into. Ono, much like Wolfgang, you've always had that small voice in the back of your head that allowed you to become a druid, that whispered to you the secret rites and incantation. It taught you the druidic language. There are no other druids for you to have learned from. You gained everything from this voice, and it has always been the barest whisper in your mind. As you step through this portal, more than perhaps any other druid in history, you have had to concentrate hard to hear that voice. Now it is a shout. Life is everywhere around you. The natural world is truly natural here. It's overwhelming. Okay, so you step through and it's just normal for you. You appear to be in some sort of river wetlands next to a forest.
Oh no. Where's the celestial bodies? The moon, stars?
No, sorry. This place has stars and a moon, and Fallow Moon doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking up and you're like, that's a moon, that's stars. I've literally never seen that before.
Why am I seeing all of these things in the sky? I'm confused. Are you seeing these things?
Oh, that's the moon, Wolfgang.
Your senses are all being overwhelmed by the humidity in the air, the smell of rich dirt, of animals and life. It's getting a little cold with the sun down, and in fact you can see a little bit of a mist through the forest, just very lightly along the ground.
Can I forage for food, like mushrooms or whatever?
Yeah, nuts, berries, mushrooms, that kind of thing. Yeah. Do you have a background thing that lets you do that, or are you going to be making some sort of survival check?
I would assume it would be like a survival check, yeah.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Sure. Make a roll.
Okay,
Now, this is going to take some time.
Okay.
Okay.
How is that? Okay, there we go.
Okay, 14. You manage to get several things. You run your hands through the dirt here. This is good, rich dirt. You've seen people bring back good, harvestable dirt before. There are wild onions and crow's garlic here, but more importantly, you find palm weevil larvae throughout here. Now, it's a little confusing to you because you don't think that these trees are palms, but there are palm weevil larvae down here in the ground, and they are considered a delicacy back in Falamoon.
Yeah, so I'll put the larvae and the onion and garlic into my pouch, and I'll look to Cayso and oh shit,
Komomo?
Momo, yeah, and say, I think I've got a few ingredients that might help us out.
Yeah, that's a great find. Those should do nicely as a garnish or as an accoutrement.
I refer to them as aromatics.
Well, let me ask
okay.
what Cayso and Komomo are doing while Wolfgang scavenges along the ground in the soil. This is going to take him like about an hour to gather up a pouch's worth.
You can go first, Connor.
I was hoping you.
I'll go first if you're thinking.
Don't worry,
I was thinking.
I've seen this before, Sputnik. This is called on the tabletop syndrome.
That's right.
Komomo's just gonna like kneel down in the grass and just kind of like take it all in. If that makes sense.
Oh, interesting. Are you communing with nature?
She's gonna attempt to. She hasn't really had a chance to try and do that before.
Sure. I mean, you're going to have an hour here where you can do it. Make a nature roll real quick.
Commune with nature.
$21. You sit and you commune. I'll ask you in a moment what that looks like, but you receive not a vision exactly, but feelings from the forest around you. The forest is alive in a very literal sense. The trees are bound together by some sort of force, and it senses your presence. But more than that, you sense an interconnectedness here. There are predators who are wary of you now. They are circling you at a distance. There are prey who are fleeing from you. And there is an extremely powerful force, an incredible presence, far beyond anything you've ever felt, that is waiting. Different from all of these things. It's so natural that it's extra natural. It is the most natural thing that has ever existed. A force of pure nature, of pure creation. And it is somewhere here, somewhere, perhaps not in this forest, but somewhere around you. And it hasn't noticed you yet, but you get the feeling it will at some point.
It's good to know.
Yeah, 21 gets you a lot there. Gets you some scary stuff. Yeah, the other two ignore you, Cayso. They go about searching in the dirt.
Right, of course.
Komomo begins communing with nature.
She kind of sits down, near where he was.
Well, I mean, I think for Cayso, he's seen this before. People come in to see what's beyond the pillar doors before, and he knows it's all a little overwhelming. So he's just gonna let them do what they want to do, and he's just gonna quietly take a look around the area, try and get familiar with, what the just roughly the layout. Like maybe he might try and climb a tree to get a sense of where things are.
Okay.
And as he's looking around, he can be looking for food at the same time, because that's I guess what he can do as a ranger. So he's also doing that, but he's mainly just happy to kind of take it all in while they are enjoying their moment there.
Make a perception check real quick. And for the folks at home, you're using the Unearthed Arcana Ranger Revised, right?
Yes, that's right.
So you're going to use your Natural Explorer ability here.
Yes.
Okay. When you forage, you find twice as much food as you normally would.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yep. And you always remain alert to danger while foraging, navigating, or tracking. So you're going to be good. All right. 19 for your perception. Can you also make a survival check for me to forage?
Yes, sir.
Now, for you, foraging doesn't necessarily mean you're looking for nuts and berries, right? You're a tracker. You're looking for game meat.
Well, what's our priority right now? Like, what are we going
Your priority is diamonds, but each of these levels brings back something. Is a completely and totally different and sometimes alien environment. Mm-hmm. You know, you've been to a ranching level and probably another one past that, but some of them are completely submerged underwater. Some of them are deadly swamps. Others are like blasted crystal hellscapes. Others are mines. The things you bring back are dependent on where you are.
Right.
What is known is that the town only has a few weeks of food and relies on regular food shipments back and water.
So I think maybe a priority would be something, a very close source of water. After that, maybe the diamonds, and then thirdly priority.
You're not going to find diamonds above ground in a forest, unfortunately.
Okay, then in that case, yeah, grubs and food or whatever.
Okay. All right. So you're not specifically going hunting. You are like searching the local area. You're keeping close.
He doesn't want to. Yeah, he doesn't want to get too far from them. He doesn't want to be starting the journey without them. He's specifically doing like low priority things, so while they just sort of enjoy their first time in like proper nature.
Okay. Do you have dark vision, Cayso?
I think so.
As a halfling?
Let me check.
Everyone always has dark vision, unless you're me, and screw that up.
I didn't last campaign.
You're half orc, so you're good.
I'm good now. I've learned my lesson.
Yeah, that's a good lesson to learn.
I'm looking here.
You're looking on D&D Beyond. With D&D Beyond, it couldn't be easier.
It couldn't be, but sometimes you don't know exactly where things are. So I'm looking at.
It's in your character's vision types. It should be in your movement and such.
I don't think they have.
Taking a look. You at home, audience, take a look as well
in a book,
because his character sheet is available to you while the stream is active. Your senses, you do not have any additional sense types, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm taking the worst of your two perception rolls because you're at disadvantage at night. It's an 18. It's scary bad. You spot a wolf watching the party.
A wolf?
Yes, there is a wolf.
Woof.
A WOOF?
WOLF.
Okay.
I'm sorry I'm
It's that
flubbing the
Delaware
pronunciation.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Specifically, it is a timber wolf. That is, it's circles, and when it notices you noticing it stops, and then it looks at you, and its eyes flash in the moonlight, and then it trots as if it is attached by string to you and can't go any further away from you, but goes in a circle around the camp, watching all of you do your things.
What's the demeanor I get from the wolf? And I do want to say that
Wolfishness.
Wolfishness.
How good are you at reading? Well, you know what? Make an animal handling check.
Because I have the farm background, which allows me to, I think, speak with farm animals. So
that
there's
wolf
also
is not a farm animal.
I understand that, but like it is tangential. Okay, that's all I wanted to say.
You could milk a wolf. It's fine.
Animal handling, friend. That's what I'm going to ask for this.
That's fine.
A 10. Reading wolf expressions is not something that you learned on the ranch.
Okay.
It looks wolfishly.
I note its behavior, but I'm not afraid of a wolf yet, unless it's something that's not a wolf. Yeah.
In addition, you're looking around the local area. There isn't something that one would call a river near you, but you can definitely hear one echoing in the distance. Something rolling over rocks at a pretty good speed. There is a creek nearby that seems to have, when you test it, good water. Nothing wrong with it. Not like the water in the bay at Fallow Moon. Okay.
So there's something that porters can carry back through. That's handy.
If you had porters, which you don't.
Yeah. I'm saying eventually, like long
One
term.
day. That's the dream, right? To have a whole team of people.
Right.
That's the goal. I'm putting that in my campaign notes. Porters.
As your campaign coordinator, I'm so glad to hear that.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's it for me. My hour, right?
Okay. The three of you come back together. Well, Connor, you were like, that's it for you, but that's actually not it for you because
sorry. Okay.
You had a few more things. You also notice that there are snakes and a couple of insects and definitely crickets. And most of the crickets are fleeing from your presence. And in the process of you displacing the crickets and the insects, the local snake population is having a festival. Any snake that's active at night is currently getting a nice feast. At the same time, you are noticing that those snakes are being eaten by owls. You just set off a chain of events of things fleeing from you, and they're all eating each other. It's clear that there's a lot of fear here, and there's a lot of feasting going on. Okay. All of you come out of your gathering and your reveries. When you turn around, Wolfgang Puck, you're like stuffing crow's garlic and wild onions into your pouch. And right across from you, Cayso has 2 pouches full of the same stuff. It's got twice as much as you.
I think Cayso's gonna like just try and like hide it, like not hide, but like not make a big deal out of it, you know.
Okay.
So there's no need to be modest, Cayso.
You're doing great there. I mean,
I'm very proud of your gathering skills. I think that maybe as we work together, there's nothing that we cannot do as a team.
that's great. Great idea. I think we can keep that up.
Follow me for more recipes from things gathered from the ground.
Now, what exactly would you do with these things? I mean, I've eaten them raw and I've maybe cooked them over a campfire, but nothing too complicated.
As you always, we should show them in at the end of what we are cooking. If you burn what we have gathered, as it becomes very bitter, and it is no good for eating.
I've eaten it, but yeah, I guess you're right. It's not. It doesn't taste the greatest.
It's like for a flavor at the end of the dish that sparks joy in the taste buds of the tongue. Basically, just save it for later.
Yeah, we're only just starting. Can't stop up and it's not time to get hungry now.
I don't know where we need to go right now. I'm confused.
When you look around, the only man-made structure in sight is the stone archway you came out of. There's an endless expanse of trees in any direction, which you can't see very far with the rolling hills and local nearby creek and mist, and of course it's dark.
I mean, do we have a sense of where we are? Can
Forest.
I do
Wetlands forest?
Well, I mean, I know, yeah, obviously.
We don't have, as far as I know, we don't have like an idea of where we are in the world. This is imagine you just started a new Minecraft level.
Yes.
Right? And it's just okay, now you're here. And that's home base. Right? Maybe?
Correct.
So,
You're on a totally new plane of existence that the pillar has connected you to.
I mean, is it like maybe I don't know if perception is correct.
What are you looking to do?
I'm just trying to figure out where we are.
Well, Rock did mention finding some metals. We could try set out maybe in the morning looking for any caves. of any kind that could help. And of course, we're looking for any kind of substantial provisions we can try and find in the area.
We have provisions. I feel like so if we go into a cave, I might be a bit more lost than we already are right now.
It might be good to take note, but I sensed a very powerful thing
It was a cat.
here.
Very powerful.
I don't think it knows we're here yet, but it will.
What kind of power?
The most natural thing I have ever sensed in my entire life.
Well,
That was a good
hopefully
answer.
it naturally likes us.
Maybe like
Come here.
is it is it like insight or I'm just
You can make a wisdom check to gain a hint or knowledge towards just like a general world thing. Like you're asking me what to do next.
correct.
Okay.
So that's just 20. So
Is that the gut feeling thing?
You know what? Let
Yeah.
me throw this at you as well, though. You are a follower of the Green Faith. Rather than get it from me, you could also try to have nature. You could pray to nature and see if there's an answer. I
Let's
don't know
do
which
that.
one is more interesting to you.
that one.
Okay.
Praying to nature. What role would that be then?
Religion.
That is actually pretty good, I think, for me, if I remember correctly. It's goodish. Okay. So Wolfgang will kind of take a knee, fold his hands together, and basically pray to nature to point him in the right direction.
Okay.
Oh boy.
As you are waiting, Wolfgang, you receive a very clear sign. You look up at the moon, and it is a half crescent. A butterfly cuts through your vision of the moon. It is dark red, crimsonish, with detailed black patterns along its wings, and it comes to land on your hands and look at you, and then fly away in a sort of northeasterly direction. And you feel like that is the sign you've been waiting for. This is where you need to go. The butterfly.
I'll look towards my companions and say, I think that maybe northeast might get us out of this forest and towards back towards civilization. But I'm also kind of like, eh?
You think there's civilization out here?
Somewhere. There must be. There's three of us. We are alive. There must be other alive people.
Oh yeah, in Follow Moon.
Sure. But how do we get back there? Is it towards northeast?
There's a stone arch
The
directly behind you.
arch.
I'm
think-
so confused.
I think Como just like grand gestures towards the giant arch that came through.
Yeah, we're not trying to get back. We're out hunting for something, one thing or another here.
But that so what do we hunt for? Do I follow this butterfly?
The butterfly circles Wolfgang for a moment before going northeast again.
I'm
Oh, what a
gonna.
pretty butterfly.
By the way,
I follow
can I
a
have you
butterfly.
make a constitution check real quick?
Me?
Yes, for no apparent reason.
Yeah, sure, for no apparent reason.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did northeast contradict anything that I might have observed when I surveyed the area?
Well, I'm saying northeast, but none of you have a compass or keen mind, so you don't actually know which way is north, really.
Oh no.
I mean, that must be very successful, that roll.
A 3. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that later.
2 3s.
Yeah.
You head off in a direction which I'm calling northeast, and which the map will later reveal to be northeast, but it's not. For you, it's just a direction. What were you asking about that particular direction? However, Conorhughes.
Just if we could head out. Obviously, we could head off into any direction. But did when I surveyed the area, did anything about that direction raise alarms, or did it seem like a good direction, or did it
it's
seem
hard
like a
to
bad direction?
see very far, right? It's nighttime. Right. You have disadvantage, and you even with treetops, you really can't see farther than a few 100 feet.
Okay.
It seemed pretty tree-y.
Okay. So
you know that scene in the Hobbit movie? I think it's the second one where he pops out of the forest and it's just forest in every direction except for one mountain. Imagine that, but there's no mountain.
Yeah, that was a good scene. I like that scene.
It was a good scene.
Yeah, I agree. I see what you're saying. So as far as Cayso is concerned, any direction's a good direction.
Is a butterfly a beast?
Yes.
Can I talk to the butterfly?
Do you have something that allows you to talk to beasts?
I have Speak with Animals, which says you can communicate with beasts for the duration.
Okay. You're casting it?
Yeah, I want to talk to the butterfly.
Okay.
I don't think she's seen a butterfly before, so...
All right. What is involved in the casting of this? I mean that in a role-playing sense, not in like a literal sense.
Let me think for a second.
Are there gestures? Do you use some sort of focus? Do you reach out and touch it? Do you Gandalf it? I mean, he literally talked to a butterfly by like bringing it close to his staff and whispering to it. Yeah.
I haven't thought of what my druidic focus was going to be yet, but I think she grabs that and kind of like waves it around.
Okay.
And
verbal and somatic, so you have to say something.
Then I'll try and get the butterfly to come to my hand. When she like whispers some like words in Elvish.
All right, make an animal handling check to get the butterfly to come to you, and then we'll get to talking to it. $23. All right, the butterfly lands on your hand. Can you make a Constitution saving throw for no particular reason for me?
Sure.
Natural one. All right. The butterfly does that slow butterfly wing flap. You know, when it's testing it out and it's looking at you, it doesn't know that you can speak to it yet, and it says, "This one looks tasty. We will feast upon its blood."
Glad I rolled a 3.
I'm just doing that so that I can keep track of my spells.
You get 10 minutes.
Yeah. Pardon me?
The butterfly takes off of your hand and flaps real quick before landing back down and says, "You can speak with us?"
Yes, is there more than one of you?
There is the Roxanne. The butterfly looks excited and begins walking in a circle along the back of your hand. This is good. This is important.
What is the Roxanne?
The Roxanne is the Roxanne.
Where is the Roxanne?
Make a persuasion check. Better yet, why is the Roxanne? A 10.
It's the opposite of the rocks off.
Okay. It takes off and begins flying in a northeasterly direction.
I don't think that's a real butterfly.
What was your first clue?
When it said it wanted to drink my blood.
Yes, I don't know many. I've not seen many butterflies that enjoy drinking blood.
Maybe it's like a mosquito.
Okay, so you've been through these places before, right?
Well, nothing. I mean, I don't recall anything like this. This is. I mean, I've been to. I go into places that are safe. This is all new to me in that sense.
Yeah, but you've been around like pillar people.
Yeah, they don't talk to us much. Those handlers. Yeah.
Well, have you heard anything about a Roxanne?
Maybe. Have I heard anything about a Roxanne?
No.
No. No. A Rox. No. No. Nothing like that. I don't know. But a butterfly that wants to drink your blood sounds suspicious to me.
Yeah, I think this is something slightly less natural.
I'll tell you what. When we came through here, it seems like we picked up a lot of activity in the area. There's a lot of feasting going on tonight that seems we've stirred up because we stirred up the bugs and
the prey are very aware that we are here and they fear us, and the predators are watching us.
Yeah, there's that wolf that's been circling us for a while. You could talk to it. Maybe you could chat him or her.
It hasn't been 10 minutes, has it?
It's been about 2.5 minutes by my recollection.
I want to yell hello to the wolf.
All right. The rest of you hear a wolf howl. And the wolf says, "Friend?"
Yeah, I'd love to be friends.
Okay. Then it says, "Mate?"
No.
Okay. It howls again and it says nothing. And it begins like Cayso. You've been keeping track of it, and Wolfgang, you can see in the dark, so you see it approaching from like once it enters dark vision range, which is about 60 feet.
Does it look menacing as it approaches? Or?
It is approaching in a kind of happy dog, but with claws the size of small knives, fangs out and tongue out. Like it's not friendly, but it's also not trying to murder you currently.
Can I use? Where's my stuff?
You use Tame Wolf. You throw 12 mushrooms at it, and it becomes your best friend.
I'm looking for I have like rations. Can I offer a ration?
Absolutely. How are you offering it a ration?
Well, I'm like putting it in my hand and offering it a ration like you would a dog, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to tell you that will absolutely be a mistake.
Why?
I mean, it's a wild animal. It's not domesticated or tamed in any way.
Well, sure, but I mean, like, I'm not gonna like have it eat out of my hand. Like, I'll like toss it to it.
Okay, that's so much better,
Shit, man.
All right, make an animal handling check at advantage.
Okay. $11.
Okay. Komomo, this wolf approaches. It sees the thing that has been tossed at it, and it immediately does the thing that dogs and wolves do when they're surprised by something, and it like back hops with one paw. When it lands, it's got one paw up, and it's like looking at it, like, is it going to do anything? And then it sniffs and slowly approaches it. It seems pretty clear it doesn't really understand what it is, but then it bites into it and then destroys it in mere moments, and goes, good for pups.
Do you like it? Do you want another one?
Yes.
I'll like take one of my rations and toss it towards him.
Okay. I mean, it snatches it out of the air. I mean, this thing is like watching a sawmill eat raw wood. It's disgusting to watch.
Do you have a name?
Wolf.
Is that what your friends call you?
Friends? What are friends?
Friends are other creatures you get along with and you hang out with because they make you happy.
Pack?
Yes, like a pack.
No pack.
You want to join our pack?
You said you didn't want to be my mate.
Not as a mate. It's like a family.
Okay. Yeah, it's not interested in that. You are pack?
Yep.
Okay. The wolf. I guess wolves could nod. You get a feeling like it thinks that you've done well to gather so many powerful males to you.
Dogs can't look up.
If you ever change your mind, you can come and join us. We're stronger as a group.
Make a persuasion check. Wow, 25.
Oh. Whew. Hey, side note, Cotton, how are you making your rolls with not 2 results?
I don't know.
Are you using the D&D Beyond plugin?
Yeah, that's the setting.
That's probably what it is. All right, never mind.
All right, so
I'll go back to being a guy that doesn't know how to play this game.
That should be a 22. It should not be plus 6. I don't know why it is.
okay,
It's plus 3.
22 is still good enough. The wolf looks at you, and its tongue is hanging out of its mouth. And for the rest of you, all that's been happening is like growling and barking noises. And this is a very low kind of whining noise that it makes. And it says, "Thanks for food. One time, if you need help, I come."
If you need help, come find us and we'll help you.
He turns warily while watching you, and he moves away from you in a zigzag, so he's never fully not got an eye on you.
Seemed like you made a friend there, Komomo.
Yeah, his name is Wolf.
Okay, so as you're watching, Wolfgang and Ono Komomo's hands are starting to swell, specifically their right hands. It's looking a little red.
Have I seen anything like that before?
I mean, they've probably been, like, poisoned in some way recently.
Hey, guy. Hey, did you take a look at your hands, folks? I think you might have touched something. You shouldn't have.
For both of you, your hands are numb. You don't feel anything. Just,
feel nothing?
Just your right hand. Just your right hand. Upon slightly closer inspection, you notice that there are 2 little bite marks around where the butterfly landed on you.
Oh, it looks like I got bit.
Is there nothing that we can do to? I mean, I cannot feel the hand on the right side of my body. Do I know of like a salve or something that I can make out of foraged goods? Maybe possibly something that I've already foraged?
Do you have an herbalist kit?
No.
Do you have an alchemist kit?
No.
No.
May I roll a medicine to see the proper way to take care of this?
Ah, that's what I was trying to think
Yes.
Can I?
Okay,
Throw
19.
some dirt in it.
Yeah, you believe that with a little bit of that crow's garlic that the 2 of them have gathered up and some elements from a herbalist kit or any sort of medical equipment, you might be able to alleviate this by the morning.
Do either of you have an herbalist kit?
of. No.
Let me check my pack.
Now, is this something that AP is the only bad side effect is my hand has gone numb?
That's
That
all
we
you know
know
for
of.
now.
For now.
It's also swelling, just to be clear. And it's
Right.
red.
Is it painful?
It's numb. Can't
Okay.
feel anything coming from it.
Okay.
Why you didn't notice it was swelling?
All I've got is a mess kit.
I will not.
I can cook your hand.
Might be able to cook up some of that, the root that we foraged up, and maybe make a tea out of it.
No, we need the garlic.
Oh, the garlic. I thought it was okay.
There's more
Need
than
crow's
enough.
garlic.
There's more than enough
I
garlic.
like garlic.
The problem is I don't know if I can prepare it without the stuff from an herbalist kit.
Am I getting worried about the state of my hand? Like, how much is
Let me ask you,
swelling?
Spoonik, do you feel worried knowing that your character's hand is numb and red and swelling?
I mean, I'm like, should I be leaning towards cutting it off?
probably not that extreme yet, but it's certainly not good, right?
Okay.
Like, I haven't made you roll for a severe poisoning, so you don't feel ill or anything, but it's not great.
It's not like traveling up my arm.
Yeah, it's not purple. There's no shot red,
Okay.
veins or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
It really is just like a very extreme mosquito bite.
So what is like the what's it called? Could I do like a nature roll to see if there is any sort of herbs or plants or roots around us or near us that I could use to create some sort of balm or salve?
I think Komomo has already shared that the garlic will help as long as you had some more prepared ingredients. Right, you need medicines that you don't have in this forest.
Not in this forest at all.
Not within you guys have not moved very far. You've basically arrived and moved in a circle of about 10 feet.
Komomo, do you know what I could add to the garlic to help this condition that we are facing right now?
What parts from the herbalist kit did I need to mix with the garlic?
Herbalist kit parts.
Just the garlic. We just need the kit to prepare it.
I think you guys are, I mean, unless we want to go back and maybe pick one up, I think we're going to have to just hope it subsides after a while. I mean, I've seen some bad mosquito bites and they usually just go away. I mean, it could be more serious though. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it?
I'd say with your medicine check, Komomo, you know that this is not super serious. It's almost certainly going to itch tomorrow.
It's going to itch tomorrow if we don't take care of it tonight. It's not super serious, but it's not great.
But wouldn't it be great if we found some more natural ingredients? So if someone back in town has befallen a bite from the insect that we have, we could actually create this balm or medicinal cure and sell it for a profit.
Well, hold on now, Wolfgang. I mean, unless we plan on bringing butterflies back, I don't think anyone back home has to worry about those butterfly bites. Really, I think the most important lesson here is be careful what you touch in nature.
I like to touch things.
Yeah.
I just hadn't seen a butterfly before, but that wasn't a real butterfly. It was like a blood butterfly.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just saying be careful. That's all.
I will try to be more careful in the future.
I make no promises.
Just buyer beware. That's all. I mean, hey, wolves could be dangerous too, but we met a nice friendly wolf as well. So
The butterfly was relatively friendly, except for the bite. To be fair.
didn't say
I did not
drink your
feel
blood?
threatened. I did not feel threatened by this butterfly.
Probably should have.
Yeah, it should have, but it floats around and goes on about its merry way. It's very pretty.
So I got a question for you guys. Do you want to wait till morning to head out to the northwest?
Before that happens, let me ask a question of you guys. Okay. What is your passive perceptions?
15.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes, I
Oh,
tried to
15.
make sure I had perception this time.
Ooh. 2 good passive perceptions.
Yeah, we're rolling
I
serious.
took perception this time.
Yeah, same.
I wasn't just waiting for someone else to take it without communicating.
I have 14.
That's also good. Okay. Komomo, you don't have dark vision either, right? Or do you?
I'm a half elf.
So you do have dark vision.
Yes.
Okay. Cayso, you're the first to notice, but you can't see what's going on. Mm-hmm. And for the rest of you, your vision only extends 60 feet. So it's really not like it's super far, even with the dim light of the moon. You feel something like an earthquake The ground shakes beneath you. You hear a tree creak and fall over. And then like a muffled noise. And then from up the creek nearby, something, a herd of somethings, probably a dozen of them or so, come going, just running at incredible speeds. Thump, 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 thump. Each one moving on 6 legs.
That sounds
It's
like
too
a
far away
commotion
to
out there.
see, but a lot of things moving in the night. Now they're going to run up the creek bed, which is it's not close to you. You know, it's probably 50, 60 feet away. And it doesn't like cut through your campsite. It's like at the edge of your vision. But
Is there
it
a
will become-
vantage point? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. Cayso has previously established like he can climb up a tree. If you want to climb up a tree as well, you know, and look down, you got a little bit of time here.
Me
Do
or
you try to-
Cayso?
Either of you, both of you.
I mean, I'll try to climb up I want to attempt to gain a better vantage point of whatever herd of whatever is going by.
Okay. Komomo?
I think I'm just gonna try and see or hear what's going on for where I'm at. Move off to the side a little bit in case they come up faster than I expect.
Okay. Cayso?
I'm gonna try and get a little closer and maybe try and sneak and see, but also be hiding. Right? Does that make sense?
Make a stealth check.
Yep.
Wolfgang, I'd like you to make a perception check.
Okay.
Komomo, I'd like you to make a perception check. Okay. Cayso, let us take our minds back to the movie The Lion King. So the rest of you watch as Cayso, you know, walks through the tall wild grasses here, the weeds, the plants growing with wild abandon, and you watch from a tree with a very good vantage point, Wolfgang, and Komomo, you're just standing, maybe slightly sheltered next to that tree on a ground level. You all watch as, I'm gonna say, from tip to tail, they're about 12 feet long. They're the size of ponies. They're eel-like lizard frogs, so they have frog face mouths, and then lizard eel-like bodies and long, thin tails. Hard to tell the color at night, but you're pretty sure they're blue, with 6 legs, are skidding using the water. They're like hydroplaning on the water, using their fin arm articulates to push themselves through at about, you would say, 60 feet per second. They go right over Cayso. They never even notice Cayso's there. Cayso, you occasionally get like a web on you, like it slaps into you and you get a little wet and there's a slime that secretes off of it onto you. There is shaking going on around you as these creatures go past you as well. And the smell is horrible. It is noxious. And after about 30 seconds, they all have all passed, leaving you in your wake with disturbed grasses, reeds, weeds, and the water slowly beginning to turn placid again.
Mm-hmm. About how many would you say had passed?
1 dozen.
1 dozen.
Are they impervious to salt? Like if I threw salt at them?
Are you throwing salt at them? You're in a tree, so I feel like you could definitely... I mean, you're quite a distance away. You'd really have to... You're like 50 feet away. I don't know that you can throw salt that far, even in a tree.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't work. Never mind.
You'd have to have one of those roof pucks and throw a roof puck on it.
Yeah,
Put out a deer lick.
like a urinal cake of salt.
Right, exactly.
We go weird places, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I went.
Yeah,
roof
no, it
cake.
wouldn't work. Well, I'm just thinking, like, maybe it would dry them out. Whatever. I don't know.
Block of cheese of salt.
Yeah. No, I don't think that would work. Never mind.
I don't think we want the attention of a dozen of those things.
Exactly.
Is that what you say as you pull yourself up, Cayso?
No, I don't think I say that.
Hold the salt.
That's right.
For the rest of you, when you get a good look at Cayso in the moonlight, he has got a weird sticky substance and several large those creatures' prints on his body in different locations. One is on his face too, like this.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
I must have been very sneaky if they didn't see me.
I believe, sir, according to this, you rolled a 23. That's pretty sneaky.
Yeah, no, I know. Can I take an appraisal of what kind of sticky substance this is? Like, what is it like? Does it seem bad? Do I want
Is
to
it
watch it?
slime or mucus?
It is a
Right,
slime.
slime or mucus. Slime or mucus.
He collects molds and spores and mucuses.
You said you want me to make a roll?
Nature.
Nature, okay.
Look at him ace this roll just like he's going to ace that stealth check.
Probably not. I get a negative one.
Natural. Oh, it's not a natural one, but you rolled a 3. 2? You rolled a 2.
I rolled a 2.
Okay. It is gross and
Yeah.
smelly, and it's starting to dry out and adhere to you like a glue.
I'm gonna try and wash it off in the
Okay.
in the street, in the creek.
Interestingly, it does not adhere to water. The water does nothing to it.
Oh man.
To answer your question, your nature roll failed, but you have now discovered the property that this particular material allows these creatures to move somewhat frictionlessly along water.
Huh, that's interesting.
Because the slime is not affected by the water in that way. It just slides right off. So when you throw the water on it, it just swoops right down your face, and you still got slime on your face.
You know, this stuff is gross, but it could be useful.
You're going to scrape it off and put it in a pouch?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm gonna try and
Yeah, tell me about the
collect
pouch
that.
that's on your character sheet.
I mean, I have a backpack.
All right, okay. You're now using 2 backpack slots for garlic and garlic and onions, and now you've got a pouch full of slime.
You
Take
said
it
he
back to-
stinks, right?
Oh, he smells absolutely terrible.
Can I?
I'm not talking body odor either. I'm talking like noxious chemical.
He's gonna convince soccer moms to buy it as a skin cleanser
Oh, no.
Can I use
at a party.
druid craft to make them smell like flowers?
Yes.
I don't know if it'll help all the way, but it hopefully helps a little
Nope,
bit.
it works perfectly.
That is so much better. Thank you so much.
What are we talking about? Like a nice lavender or maybe like a rose?
I'm gonna go with cherry blossom. That was my
Okay.
favorite
All right.
perfume when I was in high school.
Big
I
Spoon
think
says,
there's like little cherry blossoms like kind of floating around them now too.
Big Spoon says prestidigitation, but prestidigitation is one of the spells that are banned in this campaign. Knowledge of it has been lost and does not exist. Specifically because prestidigitation allows you to change the flavor of foods, and that would be not so good in a food game.
Wow, thank you, Komomo. That does help. I mean, I don't mind getting a little messy, but yeah, that's much more pleasant.
You
Well,
smell
it was
better,
more.
but you're still sticky.
I'm still sicky, but well,
It was more for us, but
That's
I'm glad you also appreciate it.
what I mean, I've never seen. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. You guys, you have a name for that kind of thing or what?
Those are flowers.
No, sorry, the eel frog-like creatures.
Oh. Do I know what those are? Have I read anything about them or heard
Make a
anything
nature
about them?
check. You're going to need at least a 22.
Oh, dang.
That's 20.
Wow.
You have heard whispers among the keepers that knowledge of these things may exist.
I have heard whispers that knowledge of these things might exist somewhere.
In
Well,
Falamon.
that's better than nowhere.
It's probably forbidden.
Maybe we could find out.
Well, we
They,
could ask some
pass
of the
by us.
keepers in Follow Moon when we go back home.
Yeah, that's a good idea. If they've seen it. I mean, I don't know if animals are necessarily specific to each portal's location. But, hey, it's worth a try. So I'll ask about that question again before we get trampled, possibly. But do you guys want to camp down until we head out in the morning, or should we head out now?
You know, I feel like we've had a little bit of rough luck this particular evening. So maybe we should go back and camp in our arch, and maybe you should take a bath.
I'll note that there is no bathing or toilet section in your first level of the dungeon pillar.
This is okay. I still agree. Take a bath.
Yeah, I guess
I know a great hot springs that you could go and relax at.
Oh, that's a good idea. That sounds very nice.
Yeah, the hot springs just peel the dirt off the first layer of skin.
I'm pretty
totally
sure
fine.
you have to bathe before you get in the actual hot spring.
Yes.
But you could take a bath there and then get in the hot spring.
You get the shower head, you clean off, and then you get in the hot spring, and then you
Maybe
get
take
out.
2 baths.
I think I would need soap of some kind, but I will say there's hungry people back home.
Soap is good.
I don't know if we have time to.
The water is like the 50 degrees Celsius. It's okay. It will burn any dirt off of your body.
No, you must clean before you get into the hot springs.
Well,
we do not want to taint the nature of the hot spring.
What I could do is we could camp, and I could probably make some lye out of the ash and use that as soap in the morning.
That's a good idea.
Good idea.
Or you could use it as soap tonight.
I mean, whenever we have time. But I just don't want. I know there's hungry people back home. I don't want to come home empty-handed first time we. I mean, aside from a few garlic and grubs.
They were hungry yesterday. They will be hungry tomorrow.
Progress begins in small steps. We want to make sure we don't, backstep and lose all the progress we've already made.
It's true. But I do think the lye could work for tonight, and then we could at least see what's going around in the morning and then head out.
I
Not
say
a
yes.
bad idea.
Okay.
As long as you do take a bath.
Okay. Well, we got this nice creek here, so that'll work.
I'm going to need several things for you to make lye.
I'm
going to list them all before you get started. Are you ready?
It was just water and ash.
You need hardwood ash. So you're going to have to, 1, find hardwood, which isn't that difficult. You're in a forest of birch and cedar.
On a side note, hardwood ash was my nickname in high school.
No, it wasn't. Don't even.
Sorry.
So the birch is a hardwood. You're not going to have a problem there. So you're going to need to gather up birch branches, make a fire. So you're going to need the fire starting equipment in your inventory. And then you're going to need the survival. Well, the survival check will allow you to gather that. Then you take rainwater, which you don't have because you need a soft water, and boil the ashes in that. So it's going to be a long process. It's going to take, you have to burn the ash all night. Then the next morning you have to start a second fire and burn and boil the water in that with the ash. Just want to make sure Connor, you can do the thing you want, and it's going to let you get a cool thing I never expected. But it's going to take time, and it's going to take a lot of time.
I don't know if it doesn't take that much time, but I mean...
And can we help him with this?
Absolutely. The second person can get advantage on that survival.
I could also take the
instantly start a fire.
Okay.
That's useful.
Well, all right. I'm just... Okay. I'm going
to
drastically reduce the difficulty of this
DM.
check. Yeah.
Is the creek water not soft water?
No, the creek water is a hard water. It runs through
Do
stone
we
and
have
minerals.
soft water in our water pouches?
I feel like you could say yes to that.
I will offer some soft water from my water
Komomo,
pouch.
I would love this opportunity for you to offer your water pouch. And while you pour water out of your water pouch, your teacup dragon materializes out of it, since he can he can invisible himself in any form of water or tea.
Works for me.
So he pours the water out, and when you do that, when you go to cap the water back, your dragon's head is poking out and is staring at your 2 companions.
Oh, hello.
It makes a little cawing noise.
Do you want to come meet everybody?
So
All
who's
right.
this?
So you have an empathetic bond with your familiar, and it can communicate thoughts and feelings with you, and it's currently communicating excitement.
This is Oolong.
Oh, hey, Oolong. You might want to step away from me. I don't smell very good right now. I mean, aside from the roses that cover up the smell.
Those are cherry blossoms.
Right, sorry, cherry blossoms.
So Oolong pulls himself out of the water skin and puts himself into the water that you're going to boil. And he kind of swims around in it and looks at the two of you as he's backstroking through it. He's bobbing up and down excitedly. You can see the water is slowly becoming tea.
I walk over and put a lid on the pot.
He's excited.
Oh,
For a lid?
he's gonna make some tea now. We might need to get you other water.
I'm
can
trying to
start a
cook
separate
that
fire.
bastard.
What?
I'm trying to cook him. That's why I put
What?
the lid on.
Oolong is my friend.
Oh, I mean, I'm not cooking him then.
I made him,
Yeah.
so please do not cook him. He's gonna make us some tea.
As you say that, the water has finished boiling in just mere seconds, and the lid is already starting to rise off.
Can I get the lid off?
Yep. You can see that there's a finished herbal tea ready to go.
Would you guys like
He's
some tea?
swimming around in it.
It's how we know it that the tea is done. I certainly was not trying to kill your familiar.
Oolong, this is Wolfgang. And this is Cayso. And I think they might be our friends.
Okay. He makes a little cawing noise. Why don't you tell us what he looks like? Now, it should be noted he can change his color to match the color of the teas he's in, but you give me his base form.
His base form is like one of those like serpentine dragons, you know?
Okay, yeah.
He's got the little things coming down.
Like
And
mustaches or like
Yeah, like
whiskers?
whiskers. Let's go with
Okay,
whiskers.
all right.
So
And
we're
then-
talking like Mulan, the Mulan dragon?
Mushu?
Mushu.
Not quite like Mushu. He's got more of like a natural tone colors, like browns and greens to him.
So two
In his
front
base
limbs,
form.
two back limbs, and
Yeah.
then a dragon. Okay.
And the little whiskers. And I think he's got like a kind of a fluffy mane going from his head all the way down to his tail.
Nice.
Like a little mohawk strip of it.
Cool.
And that's Oolong.
Okay. He seems insistent that the two of you drink the tea he's swimming in.
Is he making tea for us?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd be happy to give it a go.
Okay.
And I do so.
All right.
I guess I need a cup. I don't have a teacup.
Do you have a mess kit?
I have a mess kit.
You have a mess cup.
Ah, nice. Okay, but not a
I
proper
have-
teacup.
A request for an inventory item. Can I have a little tea set?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to pull out my little tea set and give them
so-
each a little cup.
You have fallen into my trap. Because what you don't know about teacup dragons is that once you've drunk a tea brewed by them, they can communicate with you telepathically.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a good trap.
It's currently communicating excitement with you over and over again.
That sounds great.
Okay.
I mean,
It's
Cayso's
glad
happy
to have
to-
made new friends. It's
Very cool.
it's like you have a dog that can speak to you telepathically.
I'll
It's
offer,
like we're gonna go to Disney World after it opens up.
I'll offer Wolfgang a little porcelain cup to get some tea.
I accept.
You also can now you can be telepathically communicated with by Oolong.
And so can we can we communicate back?
No. I mean, you
Okay.
can speak to it and it can
speak.
understand understand everything that Komomo can understand.
I see.
So it understands common and all that.
Yes.
Okay.
But it cannot speak words back. Ideas, emotions, and images.
Sure.
All right, so yeah, it gets done backstroking through the tea, and it like looks at you, Komomo, and you get an image of you opening your water skin so that it can get back inside.
I'll open it for him.
Okay, he slides back in there.
Oolong's very
and-
excited to meet you.
Yeah, so he swims around in your cook pot that was going to be your water, and he whoops out of it, and he basically turns into, like, midway a stream of water that slides back into the water skin. It's like a reverse pour.
Hey, I'm sorry. I forgot that, I didn't think you would jump in the pot.
That's quite all right. We got to meet Oolong.
He was very excited.
I mean, it might just.
You guys are still feeling excitement from Oolong. He's sending it continuously. This is the best day of his entire life.
How often do you have tea with Oolong?
Whenever he feels like making it.
Okay.
Oolong sends you an image that every single day.
He seems very excited today, but maybe this is just how he is all the time.
He's a very happy little guy.
That's nice to hear. Not everyone back home is always so happy. Well, I'm not sure. Will it still work to make the lie?
Yes.
Oh no, you should. Will it work with tea?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was
Will it
thinking,
make
yeah.
scented lye?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Tea scented lye?
Yeah,
Are we gonna
sure.
make like
Sweet.
some
Let's say
lavender
yes.
soap?
It's D&D. I don't want to go. A chemist can argue with me at some point, but
It's not pure lie. Yeah. Okay.
all right, we'll say it's tea-scented lye. It smells like herbal tea and extreme pain. I mean,
Right.
you don't want to get lye up in your nose.
No, you don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Lye-
using it
lye is-
very gingerly
it
to clean
burns.
myself. Right.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Wow.
Right. I'm gonna use it very gingerly when I use it to clean off the muck.
All right.
No, it's not a nice kind of soap. Big spoon.
Let's talk about what your plans are after you're done with the burning. Oh, okay, so give me that survival check. I want to know how this goes down. Again, you got 10 hours of work before this is done, but okay, yeah, you'll have your lie at the end of it.
How much lye will I have?
How much
Okay.
lie do you want to have?
Can I have like a pound?
That is far more lie than I think you could gather up in a night without an axe to cut trees down with.
Can I have half a pound?
No, I can give you a few ounces of lie.
Can I get 4 ounces of lye?
I'll say yes.
And how many ounces do you think I need to clean myself off?
Not
4,001.
very much. You really want to dilute that lye soap. Let's
Yeah.
say 1 ounce of lye,
Okay.
leaving you with 3.
Sweet. Thank you.
That must be carefully quarantined away from the food edibles that are in your backpack.
That's right. Well, and the slime, which may or may not be edible.
Well, you definitely don't want to mix the slime and the lye together. That would defeat the purpose of both.
Right. Would.
So let me ask, what are your plans for the rest of the night then? Cayso is maintaining the fire and stoking it by continuously adding logs, well, not logs, but branches to it. Mm-hmm. You don't have axe technology to chop down trees and then lumber the trees and then burn logs, but yeah. Komomo, Wolfgang, what are your plans? It's kind of dark, it's kind of cold, you're hungry, it's not a lot of light. Weird stuff is happening around you. You fed a wolf, but not yourselves.
I mean, I feel like just eating what we have and going to bed.
Okay.
I'm almost gonna play with Oolong for a little bit and
Okay.
eat her ration unless someone cooks something.
Yeah, maybe. I guess we don't have time to look around for something to cook. Maybe some carrots or something.
You
live carrots.
guys forage stuff.
You guys already foraged twice.
Yeah, we foraged like garlic and I believe they were called.
You have palm weevil larvae, which is very popular back in Fallow Moon. They have a high enough fat content that they self-caramelize. You don't need to add any oil to the pan.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean,
You can eat them raw, you can eat them boiled, you can fry them, you can pan-sear them.
I
A
don't
lot
see
of
why
ways
we
to cook
wouldn't.
these bad boys.
Yeah, I don't see why we wouldn't enjoy a nice bit of comfort food on our first night out. if they're called comfort food.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love
They
eating
they
insects?
offer comfort. So
Yeah.
okay. Can we do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Wolfgang will have to give you his palm weevil larva.
Right.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you sit down. You have a meal together. Everybody take inspiration.
Ooh.
Sweet.
You work together to make a meal. There was a fire and everything. In the process, okay, so Wolfgang and Komomo go to sleep without ever establishing a watch order, I think.
I didn't go to sleep. I played
sorry,
with
you're
Oolong.
playing with Oolong. That's right. What the? Wolfgang just goes to sleep.
I guess we'll wake him for third watch.
That sounds good.
Well, here's the thing.
You're already asleep.
A traditional D&D long rest requires 8 hours, and you have to sleep for 6, and then you have 2 hours to do other things with. So when you do a long rest at night, each person can do 2 hours of watch time, right? But you only have 3 people, which means there's going to be someone, you either have one person who doesn't rest, or you have to extend your rest time out to 10 hours to accommodate multiple watches.
Yeah, I think that's what we did on the tabletop. Ooh, do it again.
Yeah, so you're just doing long watch times. Okay.
Right.
Many watches. All right, that's perfectly fine. I just wanted to keep the D&D rules intact. So, Cayso, you and Komomo are still awake while Wolfgang is already down and snoring.
Dealer's choice, Komomo. You want me to take first watch, or you want to grab it?
That's up to you.
I guess I was trying to say that you were the dealer. I mean, hey, it's your first night, the first night in the Pillars area. I mean,
You are the one who's more experienced with this. You should guide us.
Do it.
okay, I'd say the middle watch is probably the tougher one, or the one that is darkest. So, yeah, why don't you take the first one?
Can you see in the dark?
Well, there's the campfire, and I have my torch. Otherwise, no, though. The direct answer.
It should be noted that now that you have an open fire, you've attracted a cloud of insects, but you've also chased away literally everything in the area. Any noise, any ambient noise you would hear of insects or movement is now just the crackling of the fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like we've already disturbed the area quite a bit with our campfire, but that's the way it goes sometimes, I guess. Okay, well, otherwise, I will take my rest and bid you adieu. Thank you for the tea.
Well, you got to thank Oolong for the tea.
Well, thank you, Oolong, for the tea.
Oolong does a bow, but turns into water in the middle of the bow, so he just splashes at the end of it.
Okay, Cayso's gonna take his sleep.
Okay.
I'll take the first watch.
All right.
Second here.
I think I'm taking second. You're taking third.
Third.
Okay. I just want to say, guys, I really don't want to do timed watches like how we normally do in D&D, because I don't want to be like, you're attacked at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's 4th watch.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah,
All I
that's
need
too-
to know
too
is that
technical.
watches are happening.
Watches are happening.
Okay.
Yep, we did it.
I do want everyone to make a survival check to get through the night.
Oh,
All right,
no.
we'll make it.
I'm not actually good at that.
You're a druid. How is that possible?
Because it didn't make sense because she's never been outside of the town.
That's true. But also, you're a druid. How is that possible?
Because I was playing to the background.
That's true, but still. This is going to be a rough campaign for you.
Probably.
But you have a high nature score, right?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you're right. I think I got survival covered. I got a +5 in it.
Well, I have a +3 to it, but it's
not
not
bad.
as good as I want to be. And I only rolled an 8, so it's not good.
Ah, that's just the dice. Could have been a
Okay.
one.
I don't know what has happened to my character sheet.
I've used my dark powers. That's what happened. Do you know what your bonus is?
No, because I can't see my
Let's see. Maybe I could take a look.
character sheet anymore. It's like gone.
Wolfgang.
Where'd it go?
I can see your rolls on this on this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I can see my past rolls, but for some reason, my character sheet has
gotcha.
nothing out anymore. I don't
You
know.
got a 9.
You got a +2.
Okay.
It's a rough night, Cayso. Your 2 companions, when you wake up for your 2 watches, they've fallen asleep in the middle of the watch.
Oh,
They didn't
okay.
wake you up in time. However, the teacup dragon never needs to sleep, so I think Oolong empathetically wakes you up when the others fall asleep. Okay, so you just feel a nudging in your mind until you come out of the dream. However, nope, go ahead.
Do I know that it was Cayso?
You mean Oolong?
Sorry. Do I know that it was Oolong? Yes.
Yes. There isn't a voice to him, but there is a sort of accent or flavor to his communications to you that make it clear that this is the thing that's communicating with you.
Okay.
There's like a tea smell that comes to you whenever he's communicating.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, when the 3 of you have woken up, somewhere on your body, there is a runic tattoo with the 4 that appeared on the outside of the pillar. So you tell me where that is. Okay, so this has happened to you before.
Oh, okay. So I'm familiar.
You used to have a 3 tattoo, but it disappeared the day that you had the dream.
I'm gonna say it's I don't know. It's on my neck. That's the first spot that I think of.
All right, looks pretty badass.
Yeah, it's like Berserk.
Back left shoulder.
Okay, you don't notice it until someone points it out.
What's mine say?
No,
Dude.
no.
No? Okay.
I think Komomo's is like right here, right on the shoulder. But like the side of the shoulder. That makes sense.
Is the shoulder exposed? Like, would we see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Wolfgang, Komomo, your right hands itch a lot. And it's not like having a dot of a mosquito bite. The whole back of the hand itches.
Oh, I knew this was going to happen.
You knew it was going to happen, yet I kept on asking, how do I not have this fire on my hands?
I told you that's the only way I knew was if we had the herbalist tools to crush up the garlic for us.
I will throw a bunch of garlic into a pond and dive in. That is how much this is annoying and painful for me.
Do I know any ways to relieve the itch?
Yep, garlic on a mosquito bite.
Do we need the herbalist thing? So can I just crush it?
Nope. Yeah, you just mince the garlic and put it on the mosquito.
Give me the garlic.
Look, it's not like you're gonna be like, ooh, what a great healing immediately. But after a few minutes, there is a gentle. It's still there, but it's less. It's an alleviation, not a removal of symptoms.
I will take that at this point.
May I have some garlic? We can start mincing it up.
I'll give Ono the garlic.
Yeah, your hands are sticky with garlic cloves as you mince up. Probably like a full head of garlic to spread on the back of your hands. The swelling drops down immediately when the garlic is on it.
It feels very much better. Bitter, even.
It'll take a few
that was a
minutes
German
to
pun.
Yes,
by
it
the
was
way.
a German
All
pun.
right,
Yeah, I got it. I got it. It's
sorry.
He's not German though. You know that, right? He's Austrian.
No.
Okay. As you all wake up, you notice the direction the sun is rising, and now you have a northeast southwest comparison point.
Very handy. Morning, folks.
Good morning.
At some point, we'll have to talk about, proper camping, night camping protocol. I'm not sure I got woken up by anyone in the proper watch order, but we can address that later.
Yeah, I forgot to ask you how the watch orders work before you went to sleep.
Yeah, I guess that's on me. I should have said something.
No, I mean I probably should have asked you what I was supposed to do.
Sure. That's
Well, looking at the actual data, we had no watch order, and all of us are still alive, so we must be doing something correctly.
Definitely. We're living, and that's lucky. So that's good. All right, let's head off in this northeasterly direction.
Okay. And that is what we'll resume when we come back in something like 8 minutes.
Nice.
For the I would say second half, but we're only going an hour. So for the second third of the show, that logic is gonna nope. We'll be back. Stick around.